adults in these kids' lives very often so that they will talk to us. So you as parents have a really challenging role, and parents in general, because you are instrumental in teaching about healthy relationships, and that starts with modeling what a healthy relationship is. And that may mean, you may be a single parent, and that's okay. You have healthy relationships with other people in your lives, so how are you modeling what's respectful, what's honest, what's direct, all those things so that your kids see that? Because if they don't see that, they don't know what it looks like. You also want to figure out how to share your own experiences. This is a big thing. People are like, I'm never talking about what other things were like when I was a teenager. They would, it goes against everything else. It makes you a real person. So if your kids know that you made a mistake in a relationship or had a relationship that wasn't so great, they don't need to know every detail. They don't need to know line by line, play by play. But within reason, sharing your own experiences makes you a real person. And they can go, oh, that happened to you and you were okay now? Like, okay, cool. Like, I can handle this. Don't repeat it multiple times. Well, didn't you learn from my lesson, right? I mean, any of that happened to you guys? Like, I know when that happened to me, I just kind of stopped listening. So you want to be real to a point and then respect at the boundary. You've got the message out there. Even when you don't think children are listening to you, they're listening to you, and they come back and they go, did you know that you said blah, blah, blah? And you were like, I did. And you did. So you want to remember that. Find teachable moments. You hear this all of the time. What does that mean? When you're driving in the car with your 13-year-old, you have a captive audience. Talk to them, right? I mean, exactly. You do. They're captive. They're there. They can't get out of the car. If they're trying to jump out of the car, they usually end up in my office at some point, so let's hope that doesn't happen. But, you have a captive audience. If you're on the train, if you're walking down the street, find those moments. Oh, I love this song by Britney Spears. Well, what do you like about it? Get to know what's happening. That means you have to listen first and talk second. And I think that we, as adults, kind of jump into problem solve, when in fact we might be better off taking a step back and just validating and listening. You will learn so much. I have a friend who has a 13-year-old daughter, almost 14-year-old daughter, and she sits in the car with the girl and with her daughter and her friends and just listens. And she's like, she calls me up, she's like, you're not going to believe what they're talking about. And I'm like, I do believe what they're talking about, but what did you do? She goes, I just listened, but I just know what's going on. They kind of forget, you're just the chauffeur, so they don't pay attention to the fact that you're sitting there. And so you want to kind of do that. And in that, you want to perfect your elevator speech. As my CBS people can attest to, I have to get a lot of information into 2.5 minutes. So I need 3 takeaways that people, when they shut off the segment, they can go, oh, Dr. Hartstein said blah, 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 done. Right? So as parents, perfect the elevator speech. You may only get 5 minutes of undivided attention from your teenager or from your preteen. Pick the things you want them to know. I mean, I think if there's anything that you can do, that's what you have to do. And you have to emphasize safety. Your job from the minute that child is born is to create a safe environment. So your job now is to continue to teach what it is to be in a safe environment so that the